Welcome back to Classpad.net, and today we're doing angle and segment bisectors. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So let's get our geometry sticky out, and I'm going to turn off labeling just because I don't want things labeled. So let's just draw. Obviously, to have a bisector, you have to have something that has defined length. So you couldn't bisect a line or bisect a ray, for example. So segments, angles. You can also, let's kind of expand this so we have a little bit more room. Okay, let's make a shape. So a triangle. So let's think about this. So it's relatively easy. If I want to bisect a segment or bisect an angle, I have to select it. So I'm going to go in my selection tool, and notice under construct, this is where I have perpendicular bisectors, I have perpendiculars, I have midpoints, intersections, angle bisectors. So I'm looking at these two things here, perpendicular and an angle. So if I have a segment, obviously it's the perpendicular that I'm going with. So if I select the segment and I just select the choice of perpendicular, it makes a perpendicular bisector. How do I know it is? Well, if I go near it, you'll notice I've highlighted the bisector, and it shows the right angle, and it also shows that these two parts of that segment are now congruent. I could verify this, I could measure and make sure this side equals that, but it's showing me right here with those congruent tick marks that I have a bisector of that segment. And even if I then change the length of this segment or the direction or the orientation, it is still a bisector of whatever end result I have. Okay, so angle bisector, just as easy. I need to select the angle, so let's select the angle here. And now my choice, oh, I think I must have something, I had something else selected, so I'm gonna click on a white space. Here we go, angle, and now my choice is angle bisector. So it's going to do the same thing. It's going to create a ray that is bisecting this angle. Notice that you see the two congruent tick marks, and again, you could measure these two angles just to ensure that they are congruent, but it's showing you that they are. And again, I can adjust this angle to be lots of different angles, and it's always going to stay a angle bisector no matter what angle it has. So that's one thing. You can be doing it on individual segments that are by themselves or individual angles. You can also do it within objects. So let's say I want to do the angle bisectors of all of these angles in my triangle. So I'm going to, let's first click on a white spot. This angle, let's do an angle bisector. And this angle, click on a white spot. Let's do that angle bisector. And then let's do this last one. So notice, isn't that an interesting feature? This is all the angle bisectors seem to be intersecting at that one point. So what's interesting about that one point? You can measure the distance, and you know, it's all the same distances, and it's the incenter, I believe it is called, which means, this is kind of going off on a tangent here, but I can draw an inscribed circle from that center point, and it always remains. When I connect my angle bisectors of a triangle, it always stays inside my triangle, so it's an incenter. So again, so you can do angle bisectors inside shapes or just an angles that are by themselves. You could do the same thing. Let's make another shape out here. Let's make a quadrilateral this time. Now this is just a general quadrilateral, so it's not going to have anything special about it, but let's just show you how you can also do the perpendicular bisectors from shapes. So I can click on this and click on the side, click on the perpendicular, and there it is again. And I could do it to all four sides and see if there's anything special about it. So I'm just selecting and doing perpendicular bisector. There doesn't seem to be anything special, maybe because this is just a general. Like if I did it with a rectangle or square, maybe there was something special about those perpendicular bisectors of the side. But just to create a perpendicular bisector to a segment or an angle bisector, you simply select the segment that you're interested in and choose under construct the perpendicular bisector, or you select the angle you're interested in and choose under construct angle bisector. So very easy to do it, and the nice thing I like here is that it shows these congruent marks, and it also shows for the perpendicular that right angle that you need and the congruent marks.